it kind of cut it off a little bit. This is part 3. This is the last of it, because I was going to cut it off there, but I need 2 or 3 minutes on that. You're lucky if you got off. This is why sexual sin is so bad. Part 3. You're lucky if you got off without disease, because these days I have counseled with students. There are some diseases that you can get today that you can't get rid of. There are some diseases of a young precious lady at the college I worked at that I counseled with. She can't have children. They weren't around when I came around. I mean, I was really lucky. I'm thankful that even when I used to be with my boyfriend, I actually was, even though I wasn't born again, I brought up in the church, I actually dated my ex, and if he's honest, 5 years, and we didn't even have sex. And I know that if a natural man can just want to be with you without sex, I know God can give you a spiritual man that love God. But let me tell you, some women and men, you can go to churches and you can look for men and women of God, but just because people go to church, that don't mean that they're going to be where they need to be spiritually. You can actually get taken the wrong way going to church, dating somebody right in your church. You can marry him and everything. That does not mean that they've been developed in the things of God to where they know what true love is. Because let's face it, most of us don't really know what true love is. We know what natural human love is. Natural human love says, if you love me, you would. That's just the way it is. They're not trying to deceive you. That's just the natural mind. They're not bad people. That's just, all of us came from there. But as you grow and develop spiritually, you realize God has a different interpretation of what he says love is. God calls it one thing. We're calling it love. God calls it something else, okay? So now you should have lived enough by the time you're 25, 35, 45, 55, 65. You ought to have lived enough where experience could let you hear certain things and say, I don't know if that's true. I don't know. So you judge it for yourself from your own life. Whenever you have sexual sin with a person, Bynum brought it out, that woman gets an impartation because she's opening herself. One young lady, I love her today. We shared at church and she brought out something that was good. Andrea Howard, God bless you. She's a wonderful young lady of God. Is going to use her, continue to use her so much to help broken women. She said that she shared with me that somebody said when they go into that woman, see, that's close to her heart. That's why women get hurt so much. That's a good point. I also think that you're getting impartation, like Bynum said, you're getting something deposited into you. And it's more than just natural, it's spiritual. The man, he's projecting, he's putting something out. Now, he got consequences too. We'll go into all of that later. Sexual sin is a bad thing. I want you to resist it. I want you to ask God to help you, and if you're in it, to get out of it. Because I think God got some greater things for you. And I think, and I want you to know this. Just because you've been in it, that doesn't mean you're less than, you're tainted. No, you're precious. It's just that the devil has got you living way below what he would have for you. And it could be a good relationship, that it could be God. He can turn that relationship around if you come out of it. But see, what he's going to do is take something that could have been a good relationship and plant a lot of bad stuff in it where it won't be productive and fruitful like God wants it to. So it's a totally natural desire. It's a beautiful thing, but Satan is trying to pervert it, and he's trying to deceive you. So I'm here to blow the whistle on him, and I'm not afraid of him. And I want you to know that you're going to come out of it, and you're going to be stronger and better and have that beautiful, real love that God wants you to have. This is Linda, talking to you about health and healthy relationships. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.